Timster here with another video, and welcome to the first Tank Clash episode. In today's matchup, we have the Churchill I going up against the legendary KV-1. If you don't know how these work, basically I've played 30 games in each of these tanks. We're going to look at the tanks themselves first, then their best game out of the 30 where they made the most credits, and then we're going to reveal which one makes the most credits. I hope you guys enjoy this first Tank Clash episode. As we take a look at the tanks, we're going to start off with this very slow 40-ton vehicle. The Churchill I only has 350 horsepower, so it does make it a very slow tank. It has a very accurate 75mm gun with decent penetration and 160 alpha damage. Even with the massive 177mm in the front, the Churchill has many weak spots, the major one including the lower glacis and the turret itself. Because of these weak spots, even from the front, the Churchill I can get penetrated quite consistently. As we look at the 50-ton KV-1, we can notice that it goes considerably faster than the Churchill I, and that's all thanks to its 500 horsepower engine, which makes it a lot more maneuverable than the Churchill I. Like the Churchill I, it has many weak spots at the front, however, but fortunately it's got a very well armored turret and a better armored side with 75mm, making it, like many tanks down this line, a very good side scraper. This tank definitely has better armor when compared to the Churchill I. It also has an upgraded 85mm gun, which is very inaccurate and has a long aim time, but does 200 alpha damage and has decent penetration values. But now that we've taken a look at these two tanks, let's hop into the game where each of these tanks made the most credits out of the 30. Okay, so the first match is going to be, of course, we're starting with the Churchill I, and this is going to be a match on Port Bay. Most of my team is going to go left here, and that's where we're anticipating the enemy tanks to be because they have 3 heavies. That's 2 more heavies than on our team. So since I'm a heavy, I think they're going to be on that side, so that's where I'm going to go and hopefully get some action. One of the key parts of this tank is meeting up with your enemies. If you, for some reason, all the enemy tanks are on the right side, you're going to have a really hard time to get over there, and it's going to take a while, and it definitely cuts the potential of this tank. The maneuverability is just, it's, in my opinion, it's too slow. Even for a heavy tank, you really start to notice how slow this tank is when you can't get to your targets and you can't put effective fire into them. As we make a turn around this corner here, we do get the sense that unfortunately the enemy tanks are not actually here, which kind of freaking sucks. So I'm gonna make my way into town, and thankfully, thank the Lord, that is where they are. So I don't have to go too far here, but I have still the first 2 minutes, the first minute of the game has kind of gone to waste here. And notice we have a beautiful Panzer IV Anko that we can freely shoot. Doesn't realize we're here yet. And we have a KV-1 that just popped up. Why, aren't you the person we're versing in Tank Clash? And yes, he bounces, we get a shot on him. So a nice little pre-battle, right, in the midst of this beautiful Tank Clash. And he kind of retreats. So at this point, we're going to have to use that terrible engine again and try and find another juicy target. We got a VK30.01H here, but he's a little too fast for us and we miss. And instead of going for the KV-1, we decide to go where there are more tanks, and this turns out to be better for us as we are able to help our allies a little more. The T-3485 is going to work, but we definitely need to help him. He's being surrounded by 2 tanks at this point, and it's not good for him. We are making our way there. It's taken a while, and finally we get to shoot this T-3485. Unfortunately, our ally is about to go down. He has been taking shots for quite a while, and this is seriously when the maneuverability starts to cut into the potential of this tank. Getting to your enemy tanks is something that causes quite a problem in this tank. Fortunately, we did get actually an engine shot there, and just like that, another tank just popped up, the VK30.01D. So just like this, tanks are literally just spawning in front of us, and it is amazing. This is what you want to be happening in the Churchill I. Of course, it's running away. We have to try and catch the tank again, which is annoying because it's such a slow tank. Fortunately, though, we do actually get the kill. Just as we kill it, another tank spawns up. It's actually another Churchill I. And here we're going to see the weak spots on our own tank. And it has a lot, maybe too many in my opinion. The first shot we get on this Churchill I is actually going to be the lower glacis there. No problem whatsoever. The Churchill I misses, and it's almost going to go down. The second shot we get here is actually going to be in right flat in the turret, and we actually finish him off. So the Churchill I, in my opinion, has way too many weak spots. It's got a very good 177mm front, but it's just not enough because of those weak spots again. So now the Cromwell is just appeared in front of us again. Of course, he's AFK, so more damage to farm. We are getting very lucky in this game. That's actually why we were able to do the amounts of damage and get the amount of credits we did. That is literally just because of the luck we got in this tank. What normally happens is you'll be just driving this tank around the map half of the battle just to get to the enemy tanks, and it can be quite frustrating because its maneuverability is seriously bad. But that battle we did very, very well. We got a first tank mastery badge, 1,642 damage, 44,180 credits. We did amazing in that battle, and you'll notice that we just target after target, we just kept shooting and firing. We were quite lucky with the placement. So a great game in the Churchill I. But now let's move on to the KV-1's best battle, where it made the most credits, and this is going to be a battle on Fort Despair. I want to say sorry to you guys for the sound. The sound will just randomly disappear as this battle starts here. I think I had the sound off. Again, my bad. I literally only recorded 10 battles that didn't have sound. This, of course, had to be one of my best battles, of course, right? But anyways, we're going to be heading on the left side here with a lot of our team. And we're going to be trying and flanking on this left side. This is where most heavies go, so that's where I'm going to be going. And it is a tier 5 battle, which is great in the KV-1 because all heavies in top tier battles do extremely well because heavies rely on armor, and in top tier battles you can use armor very, very effectively. So I'm going to go straight for that wall right in front of me and try and get some beautiful side scraping, because that is what the KV-1 excels at. It's got a beautiful turret, unlike the Churchill I. And I'm going to pop out just to kind of see what's up ahead, and look at that. Isn't it the Churchill I? Hello, my friend. Look at all those weak spots. That turret is nothing compared to ours. And we're going to kind of show who's boss here. We're going to, side scrape, bounce a bunch of shots, and get some juicy shots into this Churchill I here, which in my opinion has way too many weak spots. Like, it's supposed to be a heavy tank. I look at that thing and think it looks like a medium tank. Like, look at all the weak spots it has. A T-28 is kind of just gonna, pop up. Fortunately, we do get another shot. At this point, I'm like, I can let my team deal with those tanks. We're gonna move along, right along, and join up with the one tank over there that's battling like 6 others or like 5 others. So we're gonna make our way here. This tank is a little faster than the Churchill I, and it's also got 20 degrees of traverse speed. The Churchill I only has 17 degrees of traverse speed. And those kind of small things you do actually start to notice, because it's a heavy tank, you're going slow. Every degree of traverse speed definitely helps. And when I play in the KV-1, you definitely notice that it just has better maneuverability, and it's a lot easier to play. So we've spotted a Panzer IV Anko SP here. We're going to get a couple shots on that guy. The Hetzer behind us is getting taken care of, so we're going to focus on these guys. There's a DW, and notice how long I took to just aim that shot. You definitely want to aim your shots, because if you miss, that's a lot of damage that's just going to waste. So definitely aim your shots, even though it's really annoying. The gun's not very accurate, it has a very long aim time, but we're going to try our best here. It has a dispersion of 0.42. So definitely not the best 85mm gun. Now notice that we actually just switched targets. We're going for a Panzer III, and the T1 Heavy claims the kill on the DW2. Why did we do that? Because we are focused on damage. And here I'm actually going to do that again. You'll notice the Panzer III is now on 32 HP, and I'm having none of that. I don't even aim my turret at him. I'm just focused on going to the next tank with more than 32 HP, please. And that would be the Panzer IV Ankos SP. So we're going to try and farm some damage on him. Notice I'm not going for the XP. I'm not going for the kills. I'm going for damage and credits. That is my sole purpose in these 30 games. And that's why I was able to do so much damage and get so many credits this game, because I really focused on the damage. We do actually get a kill that game, even though we were we were focused on damage only. And look at that, another first class mastery badge, 2,224 damage that time, and 38,000 credits. A beautiful game in the KV-1. And you may have noticed that even with 2,200 damage, we got less credits than the 1,600 damage in the Churchill I. So now it's time to reveal the winner of the 30 games. Who makes the most credits? And yes, as you take a look at that bottom dark blue box, that is the average amount of credits these two tanks make. And unfortunately, the Churchill I still does make more credits. Now, as you take a closer look, you may notice something a little odd. As we look at the result lane or column, look at the KV-1's win rate. Look at the KV-1's win rate. That is ridiculous. I had 21 straight victories in a row. Now notice I played these 30 games in a row. Like these were 30 games I did, and I played them in a row, and I was very concentrated and everything. 21 victories, 93.33% win rate. I only lost 2 games out of the 30. Ridiculous stats in the KV-1. As we compare to the Churchill I, only a 50% win rate, which isn't very good in my opinion. And we had 1,340 damage in the KV-1 and 960 damage in the Churchill I. Again, the blue numbers are averages of the 30 battles. And yeah, the orange are all the nice 30 battles and everything, and then we have the averages on the bottom. But as you can see, the Churchill I is not a very good tank. The KV-1 is an amazing tank. However, the Churchill's credit multiplier is just so insane that even though it is not the best tank, it will still make more credits than the KV-1. Anyway, that about wraps it up. The KV-1 is a better tank. The Churchill I still does make more credits, so the Churchill I does win this tank clash. Anyway guys, it took me about 15 hours just to make this episode, between doing the 60 games, editing the footage, getting the statistics and everything, learning how to use Excel. So a like would be very much appreciated if you learned something and you found this tank clash episode helpful. Make sure to give it a like just to support this series, and if you want to see 2 other tanks tank clash or face off, leave it down in the comments. Anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed this first episode of Tank Clash. I am extremely pumped for this series. Can't wait to do more tanks, even though it does take a while. I can't wait to do more tanks, and I will catch you guys next time. Peace.